Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show, your one-stop shop for everything rugby league. And what a show we got for you today. Absolutely is Reece Walsh, a Scorpion. Jarome Luai gets hit with a fine and nothing else. Wayne Bennett schools Justin Chadwick at the press conference. And so much more on the Barry Charles Footy Show. How are we going, everybody? I hope you're having a great day out there as we get ready for what will be rugby league is coming to the pointy part of the finals series. Are the Broncos the team to beat? Are the Broncos the team that can take on Penrith and win the comp? If we go back to round one, they got it done by 1 point. Don't forget that, folks. In round one, the Broncos beat Penrith by 1 point. So they are definitely, at this stage, the team that can beat them. The Warriors are always in the main danger to that. Outside of that, I don't see anyone else making a big run at the finals. But that's my opinions on that. But let's get to some of the craziness happening in the rugby league. Jarome Luai gets away with murder. Well, pretty much, he did exactly the same hit as Futueka. The only difference was there was 2 other players in the tackle. They pretty much made sure his head didn't jolt back like that. And he just got away with a fine. But if you add them all up, Burgess, all the high tackles over the weekend that were shown on 360, absolute disgrace. The officiating is totally different. If Futueka in that got 1 week, he should have at least got a week. In my opinion, they all should have got 2 weeks. I know Tom Burgess had loading, that's why his was up a lot higher. But for Jarome Luai to escape, he got hit in the head. Watch the replay. Everyone's going to argue differently. He got hit in the head like that. Boom. Hit in the head. Charles Nickel-Crooks there. Hit in the head. Every single player, all 4 of them, contact with the head. Yes. I understand sometimes an accident. Do you know when it's an accident? It's when the player falls down and boom, connect. When they're halfway on the ground, where we've seen silly penalties given away for stuff like that. That's when it's accidental. But when you come charging out of the line and go poof with a shoulder charge, Luai, Nathan Brown, Futueka, all the same. It wasn't like the guy was falling to the ground completely. This was just crazy boom in there. There is some work that needs to be done by the players to get the technical team lower. And again, shoulder charge is supposed to be out of the game, but it keeps coming in at times like this. Yes, the Scorpion tackle. What's happening there with Reece Walsh and the Scorpion tackle? Yeah, folks. What is happening? Is it something that's happening into the game here? Is Cohen Hest brought in a new tackle regime where the 2 legs are hooked up together and pushed back on the back, try to injure the person? There's big arguments between the Broncos and the Cowboys on this. It's interesting it wasn't brought up. It could be a bit of a storm in a teacup, but if it starts to become a trend, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Well, yes, obviously there was some absolutely shocking tackle in the women's NRL. Absolutely shocking from Kennedy Cherrington. And do you know what I absolutely hated? It's a harsh word, but absolutely did not like about this was she was smiling. She was smiling before she was getting sent off. Even when she was running off the field, she was smiling. Like, what the hell? Does she not have any care for the other person that gets injured? It's absolute craziness. Spare tackle. I think she shouldn't play for the rest of the season. It was reckless. Put it this way, it's not careless. It was reckless. She should be rubbed out for the whole season with that tackle. It was absolutely disgraceful. We know what's happened to people in the past, like Jared McCracken, who's got injured through that injury. So, and other people who've got neck injuries from tackles like that. It's absolutely got to be rid of the game. I thought we had gone past any of this happening again. But she's just got to be gone for the season. Absolutely disgraceful and absolutely shocking and should be completely out of the game. And if you disagree with me in the comments, well, that's just shocking. But Justin Chadwick, yes. Justin Chadwick, the journalist, absolutely gets carved up in Perth by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Wayne Bennett. Absolutely carved him up in the press conference. Something ridiculous, like Wayne Bennett said about 300 words and he said about 1,500 words, something like that, to that effect. Might have been even more crazier than that, but he got schooled on every day. How'd you feel the game went? Did you see it? And then Justin Chabot goes, yeah. Well, you can write about it. Gave them absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. He didn't want to tell them anything about the game pretty much. But what is to say for Wayne Bennett and the Dolphins? Absolutely, they're just falling off a cliff. I don't know what's happening with Sean Sullivan back. They've actually got worse. I don't know what's going on there. It's not like they got heaps of injuries. Dolphins have just run out of puff, run out of steam. Start off the season well, but haven't been able to handle the whole season. And pretty much on the way out in 2023. But it's still better than what a lot of people were expecting, even myself. But just still disappointing the way they're finishing off the games. Yes, well, the rugby league, what's doing? Finals time is coming up. Who are chances of making the finals? Who are gone? Well, put it this way, there's 3 teams already there. The Penrith Panthers, the Broncos and the Warriors are guaranteed to play finals football. There's a few teams like this Storm pretty much only have to win 1 more out of their 4 games and they will be there. But obviously if they want to get higher, they need to win more than 1. Canberra Raiders have to win 2. Have to win 2 more games if they want to play finals football. There's some big movements I think are going to be shaking up here. We got the Sharks, the Rabbitohs, Cowboys, Knights. The Knights still have to win 3. Yes, the Knights have to win 3 games to get there. They're at 10.5. They got to get to 13.5 because 12.5 they won't cut it. 13.5. That's the thing. That half is either going to cost them making the finals or they're going to make it. The Knights have to win 3 of their last 4 to make the finals. So big pressure on them. The Knights have to do it. Manly have to win them all. And obviously rely on results because the for and against is not there. But they could sneak in with 4 wins. Actually, if either the Knights, if the Knights get 3 wins or the Manly get 4 wins, either way, they will play finals football. So that's pretty simple. The Knights have got to win 3 out of 4. They'll be playing finals football. Manly got to win all 4. And they'll play finals football regardless of their for and against because they're 13.5. But it could cost them both making the finals. I'm looking at Parramatta. They're in a bit of a tricky situation as well. They can make it with 2 wins as well, but if they want to guarantee it, 3. It's the same with the Cowboys. The Raiders have to win 2. Definitely 2. Raiders have to win 2. 1, they're leaving themselves maybe ending up 9th. So they have to win at least 2. But yeah, anyone else, their season's done. Titans, Dolphins, they're all gone. The rest of the team's lower down. So it's going to be an interesting final month of football. Is there going to be any shocks to finish the season? There is some couple of the top teams, the Penrith and the Broncos, have some tough games ahead. If either of them can lose 2, I can't really see it now, either of them losing 2, but it's still a possibility. If either of them lose 2, and the Warriors can come smoking home. But really, the Warriors need Broncos to lose 2. Yes, as I said before, the Warriors need Bronco to lose 2 because Penrith's for and against is just too big for the Warriors. Unless the Warriors are going to win by 50, 50, 50. But the way the Warriors have been playing this season, they're not really blowing teams apart. They're playing more of the grinding game, like the old school Sharks, you could say. So they really need Broncos to lose 2 if they want to get second spot on the table. But more than likely, Penrith will hold on to the first. Broncos will be second, which means the Broncos will play the Warriors in round 1 of the finals. The loser of their match, if they want to make the grand final, will have to more than likely beat Penrith in the preliminary final. More than likely. But then who gets fourth place? That is probably the biggest conundrum at the moment, unless the Warriors somehow fall off a cliff. They should get third. Fourth place is an absolute lottery. The Rabbitohs were absolutely, I'd say, $1 before the game against the Sharks. But now they're pushing it uphill. They can still possibly be fourth. They've got the draw to win the rest of their games. But it's up to them. That question mark if they're playing good enough to win all those games. But if they do turn it around, I can see them getting fourth. Otherwise, I would say the Storm will probably hold on to fourth. But if any team can get 4 wins, of the 3 wins in the draw, coming into the end, they can push themselves in. Because I think whoever can get on a roll can push to fourth. Whoever does it, they will fly there. Otherwise, Storm will hold on. But if any of these teams can win 4 in their last 4 games, they could smash into fourth. And that's a big thing because you get a home semi-final for the second game. If you lose, or if you somehow beat the Penrith Panthers, maybe everyone's trying to avoid fourth place. Well, I'm not sure you're going to have to beat Penrith Panthers at some point. So, so I'd say it'd be out of Storm and Rabbitohs for their fourth place for mine. Then I think everyone's going to beat each other after that. It's going to be an interesting finish. Knights probably have the draw to maybe jump up to maybe 6th. Not sure. Cronulla with that upset win, they can also be an upset chance for the top 4. I think the Cowboys have shot themselves in the foot, to be honest. And Parramatta Eels, they're going to have to win some tough games to make it. But if they do, they deserve to make the finals. So it's going to be an interesting weeks ahead. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show here, the Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave some comments. I will comment on some of your comments on this videos very shortly. Have a great day out there.